Hello, welcome to Lazy Lima Life. Today's project, we're going to make a dishwasher magnet. I've shown you our like little ghetto refrigerator or dishwasher system. Okay, so what we're gonna need is I have my cutting mat and I have a piece of non-stick foil here. That's not necessary. You can use a piece of copy paper. I've actually never used the non-stick foil with Sculpey before, so we're gonna try it. We're gonna need Sculpey. I have red and white that we're gonna use. This actually isn't Sculpey. This is Craft Smart Polymer Clay. So it needs a little more conditioning. I found it's a little harder. We're going to need maybe clay cutters. I'll show you those out of the package. And we're going to need, I have these. You can just cut circles if you like, or squares or whatever shape. But I got these at a garage sale. They were, I think, 25 cents for the two of them. And they've got like little scallop edges, so they're really kind of cute. And we'll also need an X-Acto knife. I have some glue here. I have some of the extra strong magnets. These are the neodymium magnets. I got them at Michael's. Oh, you totally can't see that, can you? Okay, so I got these at Michael's, and there's 4 to a pack. And I believe they were $3 and change or something. Because the first time I made the refrigerator magnet, I just used a regular little flat magnet, and it wasn't strong enough to hold the magnet onto the dishwasher. So this is actually the second attempt. I also have my baking tray, which is just a little aluminum pie tin. And then I've rolled aluminum foil into these little twigs, and I just use them to raise my Sculpey off the surface of the tray so that it'll cook more evenly. And I've set my oven to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And oh, for me, I have latex gloves because I'm allergic to Sculpey. For some reason, my hands break out when I work with it. So if you have some of these, get some. Truth moment, these we bought. These my mom bought, so these were in the house. But usually when my doctor leaves a room, I take like 4 pairs out of the doctor's office because I don't do Sculpey that often. And I also have, I can't find my rolling pin. I've mentioned that I moved about 6 months ago, and some of my stuff is still in storage, and I don't have my craft room set up yet. So my rolling pin is now a jar of Trader Joe's mango ginger chutney. I wanted something heavy, and cans have those ridges, so I didn't want those, so I just used that jar. One thing about these magnets, they are super strong, and if you stack them all together, you might have trouble getting them out. So I would suggest just cutting one out as you need it, because they are, it's stuck on itself in the package. Okay, so we're gonna put on our gloves. Woo! I'm going to start with my white clay just because I know that this is really, to me, it felt difficult to condition the first time I used it. So I like to just hack it into little pieces, and I'm going to use about half of the package I'm probably not actually going to use it in the project, but I want to condition half the project, or half the clay. That is going to take a while, so through the aid of speedy magic, we will see that happening rather quickly. You can see that I've been rolling it out and it's still not sticking together. So we're just gonna mash it. The goal is for it to all, when I roll it out, to just be one piece. Now it's a little warmer, so it's holding together a little better. But to be honest, if I had a choice again, I would not buy this clay, just because when you see me condition the Sculpey, it'll be like a world of difference. And the thing is, you don't want this when you've rolled it together, because that means that your clay can become brittle when after you bake it, which is not a good thing. So if you cannot tell you how much I hate having rubber gloves on. I just really do. Not only does it feel like you're getting ready to play home proctologist, because ew, it's just the gloves move and you can't feel how the clay feels, really very tactile. So I find that annoying. I'm still getting splits in the clay. There is a medium called Sculpey Diluent. It will help you condition your clay. I've got a little disc here. I'm going to go ahead and roll it out before I get the red out, just in case this leaves a mark. So I'm just going to go over this, and I'll pick it up and move it the other way. So I'll keep turning it perpendicular to itself so that I can kind of get more of a circle. And I want it fairly thin because I don't want it to be heavy. My foil thing is not a good idea. Or at least I should have taped it down. So that's pretty thin. You always want to make sure that it fits your cutter. So now we're going to pop open our red Sculpey. And as your clay gets older too, you'll have to condition it more. But this is straight out of the package, and I don't know if you can see how this is slicing, but it's like the consistency of cold butter. Oops, I've sliced my foil. You can see that is already coming together. And when I roll it, it's already like one unit. And you can see it's already nice and soft. Gonna make it into a ball. Roly, 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 poly. So I've got a nice ball, And now I'm just gonna make it into a disc, flatten it. And I used half the package of the Sculpey. So we're just gonna lay that out. And we're gonna get our fancy schmancy rolling pin. I really do miss my rolling pin. I got it at the children's section of IKEA. I don't know if they still have it, but it's a tiny little rolling pin. It's like this big, and it's great for clay. Okay, see, that took much less time, didn't it? Good. So that's a good surface on the back. And then I'm gonna place my better surface on the front facing. So the two sides that I don't like of my rolled out clay are the ones that I'm pressing together. So I'm just going to place my cookie cutter on top of my clay, my stacked clay, and push straight down. And I'm going to remove the clay that I don't want. And here I am with my little two-sided disc. So there's my red side, and there's the white side. I'm always going to keep the red side down just because there's so much dye in it that leaches out, that I don't want the white side to become over contaminated and pink. So here's my magnet. Oh, jeez. And I had these little cutters, these little clay cutters. I just got them. And that is a pretty small circle, but it's bigger than my magnet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to lay my magnet here. Try to get it in the center. And I'm gonna press it down to make a mark, lift the magnet, set it aside, and then use my X-Acto knife to cut out the circle. Divot here. We're going to get rid of our excess clay. And I've got some cross-contamination with my pink, but I think it's okay. We're going to lay that in there, and that fits perfectly. So we're going to pop it out. Okay, so I'm going to lift this up and show you the red side. So I've got the hole for the magnet to go, and I haven't decided whether I'm going to put one magnet or two, but I'm going to go ahead and remove my gloves. Hallelujah. We're going to put our mango chutney over there. Now I want Indian food. I really do. And we're going to set it into the oven. I'm going to bake it about 20 minutes. Okay, we're checking our clay in the oven. So here we are. We have some bubbling in the white, which I was kind of thinking might happen because that was so bloody hard to condition. But we're just going to let it sit and cool. Okay, so we've got our little scalloped edge piece out of the oven. I should have let it cool flat, but it didn't, so we're just going to work with it because it's a little warped. I'm just taking my X-Acto knife and trying to smooth out the edges for the magnet inside, so I'm getting a little Sculpey dust. And we have our magnet, so we're just going to see how that works. Okay, so that's a nice fit. And so I have my little Goot craft glue. That's what I'm going to use to attach in here. I'm going to apply the glue to the inside as much as I can. I'm going to try to avoid the outside. And pop our magnet in. I have to try to get it straight. There we go. And then I'm just going to pop the magnet in to the other side, and it's going to just really attach itself. So, and this is what we're looking at. I have the glue on in the middle, sandwiching my two magnets together. We're gonna let that dry. Oh, first we have to put clean and dirty on. Jeez. Letter that however you want. I'm just going over the letters because it's not bold enough for me. So I have a gold marker now. We're going to use that, oops, to write dirty. And I think I'm going to write dirty on the other side so it's crossways from each other. So I have clean and dirty. So I'm going to get a piece of paper. I'm going to use my Perfect Paper adhesive. I'm going to shake some glitter. Oh gosh, that glitter thing, the caps. Okay, and I'm just going to mix my glitter up with my PPA. And it'll kind of hide some of the bumps and blotchy bits. Somewhere along the time, you know, I finished, it would have been nice to probably go check it out on the dishwasher, seeing as I had that issue last time. We're done. So what I have here is clean on one side and a barely seeable dirty on the other side, but we're going to let it dry and see what happens.